Okay, I've done 2 hours and 33 minutes here and haven't plugged sponsors or any of the things that fund this operation. But more importantly, the stuff that funds our operation is also the information that blows the New World Order sky high. So I want to encourage all of the listeners to not procrastinate and to order Fall of the Republic on DVD, my greatest film. America's Last Stand, Make the Choice, Liberty or Tyranny. Fall of the Republic documents how an offshore corporate cartel is bankrupting the U.S. economy by design. Leaders are now declaring that world government has arrived and that the dollar will be replaced with a new global currency. President Obama has brazenly violated Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution by seating himself at the head of the United Nations Security Council, thus becoming the first U.S. president to chair the world body. A scientific dictatorship is in the final stages of completion, and laws protecting basic human rights are being abolished worldwide. An iron curtain of high-tech tyranny is now descending over the planet. A worldwide regime controlled by an unelected corporate elite is implementing a planetary carbon tax system that will dominate all human activity and establish a system of neo-feudal slavery. The image makers have carefully packaged Obama as the world's savior. He is the Trojan horse manufactured to pacify the people just long enough for the globalists to complete their master plan. This film reveals the architecture of the New World Order and why the power elite have in store for humanity. More importantly, it communicates how we, the people, can retake control of our government, turn the criminal tide, and bring the tyrants to justice. When you get Fall of the Republic until Christmas, you can get the Obama Joker T-shirt. When those are sold out, they're sold out. Or you can get the Don't Tread on Me, Join or Die variant T-shirts. We have several different selections there. I added those because some of the Obama shirts in certain sizes are selling out. So if you can't get that, you can get at least the other shirt, which I think is one of my other favorites. Available at Infowars.com. And your purchase supports this operation that we're trying to expand against the globalists. 888-253-3139 is the toll-free number to call, 888-253-3139. And until Christmas, we've done this every year for almost 6 years, prisonplanet.tv, 5.5 months free. So you pay for 6.5 months, you get 5.5 months free on the yearly membership. So instead of $5.95 a month, it comes down to $3-something, I forget the exact math, a month when you sign up in the month of December at prisonplanet.tv, the live TV show / radio show, all my films in the highest quality. The films premiere there first, expanded extras just for prisonplanet.tv members, the behind-the-scenes interview with Dave Mustaine, who's become a Christian, woken up to the New World Order, his new album's titled after my film, Endgame. We did that interview with him behind the scenes, be about 30 minutes long, coming up Wednesday for prisonplanet.tv viewers. We're going to premiere it live on the streams here at prisonplanet.tv, so definitely take advantage of that. And I wanted to tell you about one of our other sponsors and then go to your calls and then into ClimateGate, the Copenhagen meeting. Did you guys cue up Lord Von Rompuy, the clip where he's calling for global government? If you need to, Craig knows where that is, so pull that up where he calls for global government. And also I want to cue up Al Gore calling for global governance. We'll have to stop there. There's so many of these clips. But for new listeners, I want to be able to play that coming up here a little bit later. Also want to tell you about Ecola Blue. Did you know you could be drinking fresh, clean water made right from the air you breathe? Though this isn't something out of a science fiction book, our sponsor, Ecola Blue, with the Ecola Blue 28 machine will allow you to do just that. It's easy to use, and it will make up to 7.5 gallons a day of water. The water, once generated, passes through a 7-stage filtering process, including reverse osmosis and carbon filtration techniques, ensuring that you know exactly what you're drinking, no chemicals, pollutants, or fluoride. We spend so much time talking about on this show. Get your very own source of unlimited, renewable drinking water for you and your family today by visiting them on the web at EcolaBlue.com or by clicking on their banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, or give them a call at 800-691-6043, 800-691-6043. Now, let's go ahead and go to some of your phone calls. Let's talk to Zach in Canada. Zach, welcome to the airwaves.
Hey, how's it going, Alex?
Good.
Hey, man, I just want to thank you for waking me up. I'm 22 years old. I have a new lease on life now. My first question, I have a suggestion, actually. My first suggestion, then a question is, you should get this guy's name is Jack Van Impe. He talks about the New World Order, a Christian guy. I think he talks on a Christian station. His name is Jack Van Impe. My question is, I hear about all this world government, and it's apparent, it's obvious that it's coming. But my question is, like, you talk about this one world religion that they talk about. My question is, like, who do you think would be the head of this one world religion?
Expand on that.
Like, the Bible would call it the Antichrist. My question is, like, who do you see? Like, I mean, not even biblically speaking, who do you see as kind of being groomed to be the head of it? Would you rule out Prince Charles, or?
Well, regardless, it's world government, and people make the parallels of Revelation, a world religion being announced by the UN and the EU, a global system where all human activity is tracked and traced and controlled. It's just a hellish system that's being set up.
My suggestion is that I don't know if you guys would if you guys would get that guy on, Jack Van Impe, but he seems to know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I appreciate your call. I'm not here to bash people, but Jack Van Impe says Al Qaeda's real and 9/11's real and all that. I mean, it's just neocon stuff. But thank you. I appreciate your call. Let's talk to. He certainly is entertaining. Jack Van Impe and Rexella Van Impe. Revelation tonight. George Bush fights the devil when he's at Bohemian Grove. Why doesn't Jack Van Impe do a show about skull and bones and the Satan worship of government leaders? No, they're not going to do that. Dan in New Mexico. Dan, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Alex. I'm with the Alamogordo Second Amendment Task Force, and we branched off from the Anchorage Second Amendment Task Force, and I wanted to let you know that they are effecting some change up there in Anchorage. They actually got Palmer, which is right next to Waustola, where your friend Sarah Palin came from. They got him to drop some gun laws that were restricting the free carry of people in the city because people spoke up and brought it to their attention, and they got him to drop it. I want to bring that to you. I already sent the link to.
Yes, when we fight back against the gun control, the victim disarmament, we gain ground. That's why we have to get angry and be focused and know the globalist strategy is to restrict our guns at the county, city, and state level. And through color of law fraud, the feds have all the major gun shops and gun shows registering people to buy ammo when there's only laws on that in Chicago, New York City, and in California now. So we've got to fight because this victim disarmament, this slave disarmament is really expanding right now.
I sent the link to Aaron, so maybe you guys could put it up and show people that when you speak up and know what you're talking about, you can affect change.
Good job, Dan. Appreciate the call. Jim in Texas. Jim, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Welcome, Jim.
Hey, I'm a non-commissioned officer up here at Fort Hood, and there's a couple things. You might have actually already talked about this before, but there's a base sticker you have to get. It's required to get on post. And with that, it's you get an RFID tracking chip in your window. And recently, I guess it's recently, they just started doing facial scans. And let me also state that none of my opinions stated here reflect that of the Department of Defense. I don't want to get in any trouble here.
Well, remember that when we got the Homeland Security documents and broke them in the MIAC reports, it states Al-Qaeda is not what Homeland Security for. The number one enemy of Northcom and Homeland Security, because they're controlled by offshore banks, they're criminal, is the veterans, gun owners, libertarians, and conservatives. And then notice how that was repeated by the ADL, that the big enemy, the big threat, is people that don't want big government, that don't want socialism, that don't want to have their guns taken. And so the entire Homeland Security system, just like it came out in the newspapers months after we first broke it, the Army internally sent us that document. Others published it. The Baltimore Sun reported on it, that the In the Fed rallies have Army intelligence watching them. Ron Paul, myself, and it says, as potential terrorists. No, the people following First Amendment protesters around saying we're terrorists are the terrorists.
And I wanted to share with you something else. It's the Department of Defense Directive 1344.10. And that's what protects soldiers and their abilities to go write letters to newspapers to express their opinions and to be heard on shows like yours. I heard an active duty soldier call in and say that he could get in trouble for what he was doing, but that's actually false. As long as you kind of follow the guidelines set up for you and that, you can do just as I'm doing right now.
That's right. When you're off duty, as long as you don't talk bad about the commander-in-chief or your superiors or directly against policies, as a soldier, you can talk when you're wearing the hat of a civilian all you want.